Hello, my name is James, and today I'm going to share my Manus story. So I've had Manus for, I want to say, a couple months now. I've had access to it. I guess a lot of people have, because now it's free to use. But pretty much, with me personally, I use Manus to actually try to get ideas and things that I've been thinking about that I don't know where exactly to start on, and to try to get Manus to pretty much build it. So I know people use Manus for a lot of different things. Like I said, me personally, it's just to try to bring different ideas into actual creation. So today I'm going to just go through a couple things really quick that I've worked on completely from beginning to end with Manus. All of these projects are currently a work in progress, so they're not completely finished. Just as a disclaimer, if you know something's messed up on it. But pretty much other than that, yeah, that's pretty much my story of just using Manus for different projects and trying to bring them into completion. So the first project I will be going over just very quickly, and just as a disclaimer, this is not currently a project that I'm working on at the moment because this project has been replaced with a different project that I will go over in a minute. So this project is called Save Mojave. I currently live in Mojave County, and unfortunately in Mojave County, the water resource that it uses is from a basin that currently has unlimited groundwater extraction, which means that farmers and stuff like that can pretty much extract as much unregulated, unrestricted groundwater as they can. No restrictions whatsoever. So the purpose of Save Mojave was supposed to be, I don't know if I said this already, but an educational nonprofit, just to educate people within the community of the issues surrounding their water rights, ways to actually go about changing it, who's responsible for certain things and stuff like that. And pretty much after giving Manus the overall objective and idea of what the nonprofit or the educational website nonprofit thing was supposed to be, it actually created a lot of cool stuff. So let me go over it. The first thing it created was the project foundation, the missions and the vision, the organizational structure, the resource assessment. Then it created the water crisis documentation of scientific data compilations, impact assessments, stakeholder mapping, regulatory and legal strategy, regulatory framework analysis, legal action planning, and legislative advocacy. So these are basically different components that would be needed to be taken into account if I were to actually create fully the nonprofit or create a website surrounding basically the issue of what I'm talking about. These are the things that I would need in terms of resources and plans of actions and stuff like that to actually make it worthwhile and to try to impact some sort of change. After that, kind of guidelines pretty much. After that, community education and engagement, educational materials development, community outreach programs, advocacy training, digital presence and resources, website development for savemojave.com, .org, and .net. Again, I do own these domains, but currently they're being used for a different project, which I will get into later. Next is social media strategy, digital advocacy tools, implementation timeline, different timelines. So for phase 1, foundation building from months 1 to 3, phase 2, public launch months 4 to 6, phase 3, so on and so forth. Ways to monitor and evaluate the success of the actual project. So project success metrics, water resource monitoring, adaptive management, resource requirements such as budget projections, funding strategy, human resource needs. I've said this before in a different video, but these the finances and the numbers and estimations that it was producing were not taken into account of if I used AI within making the project. So these would be if I hired people for certain things within the nonprofit instead of having most of those tasks just be automated by Manus or a different AI or something like that. So some of the financial estimates are off, but it's because I didn't say I would use AI for most of the work, pretty much, just to keep that in there. Next up is risk management, project risks, mitigation strategies, contingency planning, next steps and immediate actions, immediate priorities, next 30 days, short-term goals, critical path items, and so on and so forth. One last thing also to mention for the Save Mojave project, again, I'm currently using this domain for a different project, which I will mention later, but this project also involved the creation of a website, which I will now show here. The website is supposed to be a proof of concept for if I ever did do the project, which I am planning to do the project. Just basically what it would look like, different designs, different resources, different tabs, and things of that nature. Of course, this is a work in project, and at this point, this project is currently on hold, just to show you the actual power of what Manus could create in terms of if you want to make your own nonprofit or your own educational website or resources and things of that nature, and just
just how quick and easy it can be done, which is pretty revolutionary in my opinion.
So the next project I will go over is a project that I would like to call Project Save Arizona. Pretty much the idea of this project was to try and centralize and I guess the word is consolidate a single source for the data on all different nonprofits and charities within the state of Arizona that serve different vulnerable populations. And the idea, like I said, the idea was pretty much just to have one centralized location where you could find information for different groups, for different areas, and so on and so forth, instead of just having it scattered on the internet with no, a directory basically, a nonprofit and charity directory, just to keep it simple. So on the Project Save Arizona website, you have the top 5 counties in terms of population in the state of Arizona. Right now it serves Yavapai, Maricopa, Mojave, Pima, and Pinal. I don't believe I'm forgetting any. So after that, if you go into each one, it'll ask you for your language. Again, I'm currently editing the website and it's still a work in progress, so the language options are still a work in progress in terms of being a feature, fully completed feature. After that, you're able to select your groups. You're able to select the target group of whether you're looking for a certain service, whether you're looking for a certain, a nonprofit or a charity or something like that for a specific group. After picking the group, you pick the city. I may have that backwards, and you may pick the city and then the group. I'll have to check. After that, then you pick the city, like I said, for the specific location of the actual services that you were looking for whichever group. After that, you will then see a different categorization based on if it is a state source, if it is a local source, or I believe also if there is a county source on there for different service areas for specific nonprofits or charities or different services for a specific group. So again, this entire project from top to bottom, it would be extremely complex for me to get into, but it was 100% created by Manus. It was not created in one go with one single prompt, but instead it was a lot of different data collection and categorization, and then the website and all these other things that each were their own individual projects, then created into one. And I'm still not finished with it, like I said. There's still a lot more that needs to be done. And I've said this in a previous video, I'll put it here again. I do have the ability to make this, if I do put enough time and effort into it, a project that could reach all 50 states. It's kind of complex and a harder method than what I use for this one, but it is possible, and it is something I'm still trying. It is possible at the end of the day, it just takes a little bit more work, but if I've already pretty much done it with one state to where it's 90% completed, especially with the method that I have in mind, I can 100% do it for the other states. So yeah, on to the next project. The next project that I created is a simple template for someone who provides notary services to pretty much provide their own services on their own personal website. It has a homepage where you can put your name and the state you do notary services for, as well as if you want contact information on the homepage or not. It has a services page where you can change and modify the different services you provide if you do provide notary services, or which ones you can provide in states, because I know they're different for some different states. A section where you can book an appointment using an embedded Google Calendar, or you could use that with a different calendar if you please. You just have to get Manus to edit that. As well as a contact information, a contact column if you want to put contact information, or if you just want to put business information instead of contact information. It's completely up to you. It's just a pretty much just a regular template website for those who provide notary services. So the last project is a Perpetual Soup Guide website. The idea of this website is to provide both information for individuals who want to make their own Perpetual Soup projects, or for people who want to learn more about the history of Perpetual Soup projects. It includes a tab of a complete guide, which is various guides relating to Perpetual Soup projects, a Global Traditions tab for those who want to learn the history of Perpetual Soup projects, a Food Safety tab for those who do engage in their own Perpetual Soup projects and how to keep food safe and follow food safety regulations, a Community Building tab for those who again want to do their own projects, and tips and tricks for building community within those projects or to encourage other people. Legal framework for those who again engage in a Perpetual Soup project, just for them to be careful with things like health regulations or food preparation regulations and guidelines and things of that nature, as well as a resources tab, which is again just an all-encompassing tab of different resources for pretty much everything I've mentioned. So pretty much every single one of these projects is an idea that I just
thought of and I thought would be pretty cool to create, and I pretty much brainstormed and worked through each part with Manus, and then got Manus to create it. Some of them, like I said in the video, some of them included different parts that I had to put together. Some of them were pretty straightforward and easy, like the Notary project. Some of them required a lot of brainstorming and a lot of context, such as the Save Mojave project. And yeah, so this is kind of my story of just little things I've created with Manus. Again, most of these projects are still a work in progress, and I'm nowhere near completed with them. And there's a ton of other projects that I haven't shown yet because they're not even really at the stage just yet to be shown, if that kind of makes sense. They're just kind of like code blobs and stuff that I'm still testing, and it's more for other things like it's not like website and like cool UI stuff. It's more like really in-depth technical stuff that'd be hard to explain or to just do like a 1 minute clip on. But yeah, so in terms of just the ability to turn projects or turn ideas into actual actionable projects and things of that nature, that's my use case with Manus, and this is pretty much my Manus story. So thank you for watching, thank you for tuning in, and have a good day.